project that Home Trimworks was asked to work on was renew my family room. I've been thinking about a project like this for several years now. One day I did a Google search on carpentry work for the home, and I came across Home Trimworks website. I looked at their reviews. Their work was phenomenal, and I just had to get them in here. My designer was Mark. He gave me a call explaining to me how the process worked. I have to say at the beginning I was a little skeptical because he wasn't on site, but as we went through it and I saw the finished drawing based on the pictures I provided, I had a good feeling about the work. I had a lot of questions. He spent over 1 hour on the phone with me and was willing to answer every question I had. So he made me feel very comfortable that I was making the right choice. If he can transform this into what I'm looking for, I'd be happy. And he did. Valora was great. Very communicative. She was good. She kept me up to date with the process. Through the whole process, Valora worked with me and my schedule. Like there was a time where I couldn't have them finish family room work until a certain part of the floor was done. And she worked with me with that. And that was important because I needed to try to get 3 companies to kind of come together as one to complete the project. And she made it very easy from a Home Trimworks perspective to do that. She asked me when can they come to make sure that I was home. Once I gave her the date, they were here, they delivered, I signed the paperwork, and they left everything in my garage. Bucks Lumber pulled up on the day that Valora and I agreed upon. She gave me a window. They were dead smack in that window. There was no delay. The gentleman rang my bell. He introduced himself. Hey, I'm from Bucks Lumber. I have delivery for this address. I said, sure. Opened up the garage. He put everything in the garage. I have to say that when he put the material down, he made sure that it was not going to get damaged. So he was cautious on how he placed it. He just didn't toss it in. He cautiously put the material on top of each other. He placed it in a way that when the carpenters came, there was no damage to any of the material. Once that was done, I signed and got the receipt and he left. My lead installer was Pablo. Phenomenal, exceptional, words I can think of. He was very polite, very respectful. Just like Mark, he asked questions to make sure that he was doing the right thing. There's always a little bit of communication break in there, and I think that's where things go south for the most part. That wasn't the case with these guys. Like even it was the smallest piece of wood. Do you want this trim? Do you want that trim? I think it looks better if we do it this way, and 99% of the time I agreed with him. It was seamless. They were very respectful of my home. They cleaned up after they left every day. They vacuumed the floor. They cleaned up the garage. They cleaned up the driveway. Wherever they worked, they cleaned up. They asked to leave their tools in the garage. I said, absolutely. There's no need for you to come back. They put them in a place where it was to the side. They didn't just leave a mess. Everything was neatly placed and clean. It was a good experience. Okay, my lead painter was Victor. The guy has magic hands. He can draw a straight line with a brush. Insane. I don't know how he does that. Just like Mark or like Pablo, questions before he did anything. Is this the paint that you and Mark agreed upon? We're going to use this paint for the white because it's a better texture, it's easier to clean. He literally broke it down for me before he even started painting. He did a phenomenal job on the painting. Literally, like I watched him and I'm like, dude, you are a masterpiece with the brush. Because he did not use any tape. No tape at all. After the work was complete and things settled down a bit, I received multiple compliments from my family. And I don't think my house is some super duper thing, but I've gotten compliments from friends, family members, fireplace installers. When they were working on my fireplace, they had to do something. They came here a week or 2 ago and they were like, who did this work? We don't see stuff like this. And they literally thought that these were pre-manufactured mantles and pieces. And I was like, no, they literally built that in my garage and pieced it together piece by piece and then painted it. And they were in awe as well. They couldn't believe it. And they were like, the ceiling is phenomenal. The guy was like taken away by the Coffered ceiling. I couldn't even tell you how many compliments. I recommended them based on someone seeing the work. They said, who did the work? I told them Home Trimworks did the work. And she said, can you give me the info? So I gave her the website and the phone number. Phenomenal, exceptional, words I can think of.